Hey guys, so you ready for today's November 9th, 2020, 5:47 a.m. Central Time. Has the Republic fallen? Is the question, right? So, the easiest answer to that is no, it is not. And I'm going to go into some things in this video. You may agree, you may not agree, but I'll definitely give you some positive, cool ass news towards the end of this, and then some news to be severely concerned about, okay, and what to watch. Because here's the deal. The race is not over, and that is not because I want Trump to win or wanted Trump to win, because at this point I think it's a good time Biden does take this presidency, and I'll explain why. And I'm sure a lot of you just had like your blood pressure raise a little bit. But here's the deal. The race isn't over because nothing's been certified by any state. There's already going to be recounts in Georgia. There's obviously a lot of lawsuits out there, specifically to Philadelphia, to Nevada, alleging certain things. Those lawsuits are going to go before a court, and that court may approve certain things, and they'll go out and do discovery because they've already got affidavits from people. They'll go do discovery, investigation, see if they find anything, come back to the courts, blah, 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 blah. Depending on the type of court case and the where it's been, filed, the state and everything, none of it is just, this is a shit fucking disaster, okay? It's a clusterfuck, and we all knew it was coming because of the mail-in ballots that they threw up into the sky, and whoever picked them up voted and tossed them in. And then when you have places like Pennsylvania accepting them beyond November 3rd, the election day, and counting them, you really got a problem there, especially since their legislature wasn't the one who actually put that in place. It was their Supreme Court. They can't make laws. Their Supreme Court can't make laws. That's hilarious. Like, what? So that's actually a pretty good lawsuit for Pennsylvania, whatever they're doing there. So beside the point, nothing's been certified. Nothing. The electors haven't gotten together. They haven't gone to Congress. Congress hasn't certified anything. Nobody's president-elect. Nobody is second-term president, okay? The problem with this is the mainstream media obviously elected Biden, meaning named him, okay? They named him President-elect Biden. Regardless of the channel you look at, President-elect Biden is doing this and this. It is very dangerous. Dangerous. They say what Trump is saying regarding fraud, the election being stolen, dead people voting, that type of stuff, is irresponsible. What Biden is doing and saying is dangerous, okay? Him putting together a transition team, putting out a transition website, putting together a COVID response team, all this stuff before he's actually even certified to be president-elect is dangerous and irresponsible in a way that Trump never could be. Why? Because the left runs on emotion. That is evident over the last year, right? It is even more evident when they are storming the streets in the last few days and partying and excited, popping corks on wine bottles and getting drunk. They are excited because Biden is now President Biden. Those same people could easily turn those wine bottles into Molotov cocktails next week if something were to flip, because that's how emotionally unstable the left is. When they don't get their way, they flip the fuck out. When they do get their way, they let you know because they flip the fuck out in front of you, but in a, quote, positive way. Depending on who you are, they might insult you in the meantime, but regardless, you'll be insulted one way or the other. So that's dangerous. That's a problem. If for some reason this goes towards Trump, magically, I know there's a lot of theories and conspiracy theories out there. I've been sent plenty of them. This country will be set on fire, literally. And I don't think that's such a good thing for our republic. So at this point, in my opinion, there's a reason I think a Biden administration would be good right now. One, too little, too late. You guys pulled that plug way too fast on the Trump administration. He's already calling himself president, okay? People in the streets are already considering him president. Everything's ugly and done and over with the illogical, crazy-ass motherfuckers. They are set. 2, Trump is a 180 from the Democrat Party. Not just Biden, but the entire Democrat Party. He's a 180. He laid a completely different foundation that is very obvious, okay, foreign policy-wise and domestically, regarding taxes, regarding everything, okay? Trump laid a very strong, obvious, because he got everybody interested in politics, even the retards that don't understand politics, who still don't understand politics, are now paying attention to politics, though. He opened up everybody's eyes to politics. Not necessarily a good thing in certain instances. But beside the point, having Biden come in now to crush all that and go a different direction towards socialism, towards the Green New Deal, towards Medicare for all, if he follows through with some of this stuff, okay? The retards who are for Biden, or even more against Trump, not so much for Biden, but against Trump, okay? They will have a clear-cut visual and probably financial difference between the two administrations that is very obvious, that even the most retarded could see, okay? Because if you go from having, you know, I don't know what the average income is at this point in this country, but say you have $40,000 in your bank account this year, even with COVID happening, and you have $35,000 next year and COVID's not happening and everything's fine, you're going to probably be like, what just happened? And then the following year in 2022, all of a sudden you have $25,000 in your bank account and you're losing your motherfucking house. And yet nothing major has happened but Biden coming into office, changing tax code and or putting regulations in, destroying the economy. Okay? You're going to be able to see the difference between the two administrations, and it will be obvious. So with that being said, planning and hoping the Biden administration fails is a horrible thing to want or to see or anything. But it will show the young people, the millennials, these idiots that are in the street that are, you know, anti-fascist, which I don't even think they understand what anti-fascists, like, I think someone needs to pull up Wikipedia on their phones, you know, because it's obvious they don't understand what the deal is there. But they may go, wait a second. Wait. I may not have liked Trump, but this shit wasn't happening under him, you know? And then 2023 rolls around and things are even getting worse. And they're like, whoa, wait a second. 4 years ago, we had a pandemic and this shit wasn't happening. And that was the worst time in our republic for over 100 years. And I was making more money under a fucking pandemic than I am today in 2023. It's very possible those crazy ass millennials, okay, and anyone else who's a nut job, to flip a switch very easily under a Biden administration and say, wait a second, I think I made a mistake. Or wait a second, maybe things were a little better under Trump than I thought. So when 2024 comes around, Trump technically could run again. Whether he would or not, it's questionable. But even a principled, strong conservative could run and possibly sweep the nation, okay? Because of things that Biden, Harris, whatever the Democrats do in 4 years. And I mean sweep the nation as in for the next few decades. Because when you change someone's mind who is so emotionally distraught to the other side of something, they will stay to that other side for a very long time. It will be very difficult for them to flip back to believe anything that you told them to begin with, since they have since flipped, okay? If any of that makes sense. So it is what it is. The Republic has not fallen. Now for the good news, okay? The Republicans were supposed to lose like 20 seats in the House. Nancy Pelosi was coming over the fact we're going to gain all these seats and we're going to get a super majority and all this stuff, right? Well, guess what? Nancy Pelosi very well may lose her seat as Speaker of the House. Tell you why. The Republicans have picked up 7 seats. They didn't lose any. They picked up 7 seats in some very serious districts, kicking out, in fact, the woman on the committee of HHS lost her seat, which is really funny. So some very prominent Democrats lost their seats to Republicans, fresh-faced women and minorities. Great. Love it. So Nancy Pelosi's majority has shrunk. Doesn't look like the Republicans are gonna take the majority. Doesn't matter though, as far as this is concerned. It is a big deal they're not taking it. But Nancy Pelosi needs 180 votes, I believe it is, to become Speaker. She already had like 15 plus people go against her speakership last time, okay? She's going to have a very slim amount of people that will be able to leave her conference and disagree with her being a speaker if she wants to keep her job. Otherwise, she's just going to be another House member. So it should be interesting on how that goes. The Democrat Party is already eating itself, which is really entertaining to see. The moderate Democrats and then just Democrats that are on the left are blaming the hard left and the socialists for defund the police and socialism and saying those words and supporting all these activist bullshit. And they're literally saying it on their conference calls, saying that defund the police cost them some of these elections. That socialism scared people, and in fact it did. It scared the people in Florida, which is why they voted in a God, what is her name? I don't want to say it's Salazar because I don't know if that's accurate, but she's Latino. God, what is her name? Anyway, it's a female. She's great. I love her. Took over HHS's seat. The chick that was on the committee for HHS under Democrats took her seat. And that's awesome. So they lost seats because of that. Because of socialism, defund the police, New Green Deal, no fracking, all these wonderful things that the Democrat Party believed in, or probably didn't believe in, but the left did, so they just started talking about it, cost them seats. Well, AOC is now coming out saying, them blaming us for this and blah, blah, blah is not right. We shouldn't be going at each other's throats and all this stupid shit. So they have infighting right now, which is really cute, and I love it. It's on Twitter. It's on media stations. You name it. So the GOP picked up seats instead of losing them, which is just fucking priceless, and they picked them up with women. The GOP has hard time messaging. Mainly, in my opinion, because there aren't too many women in the GOP. Women like myself are not silent. We will often be heard, whether someone wants to hear it or not. So now that there's going to be a lot more GOP women, I think the GOP will have a much easier, better messaging than they ever fucking have in the past. So I'm excited about that. I'm really excited about the House. The Senate, on the other hand, is where you need to be concerned and scared, okay? Tillis in North Carolina, his race has not yet been called. I expect him to win that race. He's about 2% up, 1.5%, whatever it is. And their votes have basically been counted. So that race should have been called. Alaska, Sullivan, I think it's a her, maybe it's a him. That race should have been called as well. There's no way in hell that Democrat's going to be catching up to that person. So Alaska and North Carolina need to be called. It is currently 48-48. With that being said, it'll be 48 Democrats, 50 Republicans. The 2 seats in Georgia are runoffs, 100% at this point. Purdue was a question. but he fell below 50%. In the state of Georgia, it is a law that whoever gets the nomination from each party, whoever, they go to a race, they have to have over 50%. If they fall below 50%, both candidates, it goes to a runoff. That's exactly what happened in Georgia. Those 2 seats will be up for election in January. I believe it's January 4th or 5th. So everybody's going to be looking to Georgia. Millions and millions, if not billions with a B, will be floating into Georgia for those 2 races because it will determine who is going to run the Senate. Okay? The Senate is very serious to me. I am very concerned about this. The Senate means more to me sometimes than the presidency because the Senate is very powerful. It shouldn't be as powerful as it is, but they've made it that way by rule changes and stuff. But the Senate's very powerful, even with a simple majority of 51. So if the Republicans pick up 1 seat, they'll have 51. They pick up both, they'll have 52, 48 will be the makeup. The worst case scenario, listen to this, the worst case scenario, and I said this on my Patreon account, it'd be fucking hysterical, to be honest, if it happened, is if the Democrats pick up both seats, because then it'll be 50-50. What does that mean? It means the Democrats will have the simple majority because they have the White House if Biden does end up being the president, because the vice president is the tiebreaker, which would be Harris. Harris will have to literally be in the Senate, right where she is now, technically, all the time. All the time. She will have to live in the fucking Senate if they pick up the 2 Georgia seats. Because nothing will be able to get done. Literally nothing. They won't be able to confirm any cabinet members. They won't be able to confirm judges. They won't be able to confirm anything. Anything. They won't be able to do resolutions. They sure as hell wouldn't be able to do legislation to get onto bills. I mean, nothing. Nothing would go. It would go to a standstill without Harris sitting there at the helm, right? So her ass will be stuck in the Senate if it goes 50-50. And then, even worse, right? If they are able to push Biden out with the 25th Amendment situation, or, it's obvious he needs to be pushed out, which is true right now, or he dies or something, and Harris becomes president, who becomes VP? If Pelosi keeps her job, that's who becomes VP. And where will that person be? In the Senate. So she'll go from the House to the fucking Senate. So it would be very interesting to see how that governs, okay? Really interesting. But so the Senate's a big deal. The power in the Senate's a big deal. The 2 races in Georgia you need to be looking for upcoming in January. If you live in Georgia, God help you. You are going to see the worst attack ads ever, probably. It's going to be down and dirty in Georgia for those 2 Senate seats. So anyway, good thing GOP picked up House seats. Senate is in limbo, not cool. Presidency in limbo, not cool. Probably going to Biden. Could be a good thing, like I said. Maybe a bad thing. It is what it is. The chips fall where it is. There's elections every 2 years. We can change stuff in the House and the Senate every 2 years. Every 4 years, we can change the president, obviously. We are not living under a dictatorship, regardless of how the left felt the last 4 years, okay? 3 years, I should say. Hasn't even hit 2021 yet. Everything will be okay. The Republic has not fallen yet. If the Senate falls into the Democrat hands, come back to me and ask me that question again, because my answer of no, it has not fallen may severely change to a different answer. But right now, as of November 9th, 2020, we're all good. We're all good right now. Everybody's fine. Sky isn't falling. Calm down, everyone. Let's see how it turns out. This is Are You Ready For It? Take care, guys. Have a great day.